Good evening, everyone. We are live, and my name is Carlene. This is my channel, See It With C, Solo Traveler Extraordinaire, and we are live for the Monday meetup, where every Monday at 7 p.m. you get some content, usually a live stream, sometimes a premiere, and thanks for being here, and Happy New Year. How many times have you had to say that today? I was actually kind of, welcome back to was the first productive day post the holidays. I know I personally enjoy all the rest and the pause and the slowing down the holidays like make you do. So that's like my favorite time of year. That like post Thanksgiving through New Year time frame. Like I love the pause. Like you just have to kind of simmer down and reset. Which actually gave me like a lot of motivation for my content. So I was like, I kind of got like a wind of productivity for a little bit. And then today was the first day back in the office, which thankfully was a quiet day. Not everybody comes in on Monday. So I was kind of able to ease back into some things. So yeah, Happy New Year. If somebody hasn't said it to you already. And first person that we have in the chat is Lita Shay. Hey, Lita Shay, happy Monday. I'm sitting here trying to read what your shirt says. I can't see it. Intelligent, powerful, black. Yes. I was like, I know this had to say something motivating. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. Happy New Year. We got On the Go with YOLO in the building. I feel like I've been chasing YOLO around these YouTube streets today. Because I will say, like, I try to do like a little bit of like reduced use of my like all the devices during the time off. So it was good today. I kind of just like sat and was getting caught up on email and stuff and then letting everybody's like YouTube stuff run. So I was like, I feel like I was chasing YOLO around all the chats, but I was able to sit and watch YOLO's Enchantment of the Seas vlog today. And I mean, it was cool to see good old Enchantment of the Seas post pandemic because I got on Enchantment of the Seas and it was like just dead, but it was cool to see it with some life in it. So welcome in YOLO. Thanks for being here. And I'm sitting here, no wine today, y'all. We got smoothies. I'm doing dry half January. So I'm trying to go dry until my trip later in the month. So hi, Sig the Solo Cruiser is here. Welcome in, Sig. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year. She says, yes, the downtime is the best for. It was amazing. Like, because I was just like, where am I getting this wave of like energy and motivation? I guess because it was just kind of like I didn't have like 3,000 things to think about. I didn't have like a bunch of projects and other deadlines. I literally had content creation. So I just got me a nice wave of productivity. So I was like, where is this like boost of energy coming from? Definitely rode that wave. So cool. Good to know you had experienced the same thing. Cause I was just like, let me do all the things I need to do while I'm feeling this way before it goes away. Welcome in 16 people. My name is Carlene, Solo Traveler Extraordinaire. This is the Monday meetup where every Monday you get some content, travel related content, whether it be a live stream where we're talking about cruising and travel, or you get a premiere. So we're live streaming this Monday. Next Monday there might be a premiere. I don't know. We'll see. But every Monday at 7 p.m. lock into this channel. There's something for you to chat about, whether it be live or in the chat in the premiere. Tia B in the building saying Happy New Year. Welcome in. Okay. Yes. Thumbnail. It's not a thumb. Is it called thumbnail? What is that thing? The circle thing. What's the appropriate name for the circle thing? That is fly, Shantia. The hair color is popping. The background, the matching outfit. Love it. And this is who I keep saying I ran into at the Fort Lauderdale airport. Randomly, it was like in my spirit, she like ghosted at the Bonefish Grill at Fort Lauderdale airport. And the last like 2 or 3 times I went through the airport, the Bonefish Grill was either closed or I didn't have time to go because my flight was about to happen. Something, it was always something. And so sure enough, it finally had an opportunity, had like about an hour and a half, which listen, the last time I went through that was that Fort Lauderdale? Yes. The last time I went to Fort Lauderdale airport during the holiday traffic, I forgot how shenanigany it can be during the holiday time. Getting through airports. And yeah, so it literally took me like an hour and a half because American Airlines what was it called? A conveyor belt. Their luggage belt broke. So when they were checking people in, the luggage belt wasn't working. So they were literally, then their system went down. It was like a cluster. So literally they were like reduced the capacity of like checking people in. They were manually running luggage down from like, excuse me, having the people running downstairs. It was a mess. So when I finally got through, I was like, okay, let me go into Bonefish Grill. And so you know how you walk in and y'all like, I don't wear glasses. I probably am getting to the point that I need to wear glasses. But you know how like sometimes you think you see somebody and you're just like, let me get closer, but I don't want to stare and I don't want to call somebody the wrong name, which it's not the end of the world if you actually misidentify somebody. Just say sorry, you like somebody I know, and keep it moving. But I was like, this person looks just like Shantia. So I like really just kind of came around the side and sat, and I was kind of like just looking over, and then finally I was like, Shantia, and it was her, and we sat there for like, what was that? Almost Shantia, like an hour and a half before I think my flight was first, talking about trading Ghana pictures. So thanks for being in here. Steph Stone in the building, my DMV cousin. Happy New Year, Steph. Thanks for being here. MH Family Adventures is in the building. I'm saying hey to everyone in the chat. I was watching, Raquel was probably the one that kept me most busy today between watching her St. Lucia vlog, which to me kind of back down memory lane for St. Lucia. And then the Q&A chat. So catch all those replays if you hadn't seen it. Yellow says I do a lot, and it was interesting because who was it? Liam. I think Liam on a members post was like, how do you do all this stuff? And I just think because like naturally, like I have always just had like multiple things to do. Like I remember high school, I was student government president at one point. I was captain of the cheerleading squad, doing all the college stuff. Like it was just, I just have always been like juggling a lot of things, which is probably in my, this back half of life. Probably need to stop doing so much, but I just learned how to like juggle it all. But I just love when like the holidays come and all the meetings reduce. And you can just do the things you actually want to do. You can sit down. Like one thing I don't do is sit on my couch. So like actually sitting down and like watching holiday movies, decorating, looking at my lights on my tree. Like I would have a nice little plug in the tree on Sunday morning, read a book, drink some coffee. That was like the life. So now we're back to productivity. I guess, back to getting it in. Hello, Kenny Elliott. Welcome in. He says, hey, C. Hi, Cassandra. Cassandra, I was for some reason after the live stream, your name was in my head. And I was like, Carlene, she told you how to say her name. And so I was sitting there and I was like, how does she write that in the live stream? And I remember S-A-N. You put S-A-N real big. So it's Cassandra. I will not call you Cassandra no more. So welcome for being here. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. So today we're going to chat about some of the content that I released. If you all saw, let's see, a lot has happened. I know, like, if you were like me, Saturday morning, you woke up to, what do you mean? All the airways over the Caribbean are closed and people are stuck in St. Martin and Puerto Rico, etc. So I whipped up a quick little tidbit related to, considerations for your travel insurance, because I mean, we've had so many recent, just issues in regards to plane travel, in the sense of you go all the way back to CrowdStrike, which was what, July 2024. Then if you go to what was it, during the shutdown, TSA was starting to call out. So then TSA and air traffic controllers beginning to call out. So then there was reduced capacity there. Then they started shutting down regional sections of the country. Then on Saturday, we saw that apparently you can shut down whole airspace for 24 hours just to make sure everybody, I appreciate that they made sure everybody was safe. Now, I won't even get into the whole what led to the situation, because this is a travel chat. But like, I appreciated that it was like you know what, like for US carriers, we're going to, pause for the cause and make sure that, the people in the sky are okay. So I appreciate that approach, at least. I do know airports in the Caribbean are starting to reopen. However, I think was it somebody in Melanesee today? Because I was kind of like looking at people's posting about, what's the trickle down impact? Like once the airports or the skies open back up, you have a backlog of, you have the people who already, were on full flights. You have people who are looking for flights, etc. So one person was saying they're talking about their family. And like, I think one person was able to get back home yesterday. And then like, I think his wife won't get back home till tomorrow. So I kind of put together a quick little short in TikTok. It was actually a TikTok and Instagram because it was too long for YouTube shorts, which I guess I can create that a video. But I created like a little, just a public safety not public safety announcement. Carly, shut up. A little announcement related to like just things to think about, prepare for. It's just a reminder of like before you travel, make sure that you have, don't try not to travel with the bare minimum of, funds. Try to bring cards and cash. Be highly aware of what protections you have. How to think straight, and those kind of things so that you don't end up in a situation where you're out a lot of money because you panic. Like one of the worst things you can do is like cancel yourself. And it's like, that just like looks like you cancel yourself. So hope that kind of helps some folks. Let's get back into some of the comments. Who else we got? Yellow says, I will never do dry January. Year's Eve, year in, be kicking my butt for work. I understand. And I think because I kind of make it it's a 2-part thing for me, because I usually didn't do dry January, but like literally I can have a glass of wine in my hand like every day. So a piece of me sometimes is kind of like, can you just go a few days just to make sure you don't need to go down to somebody's meeting? So we are off to a great start. And like last year, and I also do my church's fast. So last year my church did how many days we do? 90 days. Oh my gosh. And the saints were complaining. We did a 90-day fast, and you can pick anything that you want to give up. So a lot of times people give up like social media. I am a content creator. I cannot give up social media. But you can pick like what you want to give up, and that's between you and God. But like, you pick whatever. So last year I was like, I'm giving up wine because like, and I did pretty decently. Last year I didn't break until when that aviation accident happened here in DC with the plane crash. The airplane and the helicopter collided. That happened in the middle of my fast, and I literally was like, Jesus, I need a drink. My nerves were shot that day. I just really felt terrible, which is probably the time you don't do that, but I don't know. So this year, because our church fast starts January 11th, so right over the time that I'll be traveling, and because of the nature of like that cruise, which includes kind of like it's food and drinks that are kind of included, I'm just like, let's just do January 1st through the 20th. And then I think on the back end of my church's fast, I'm going to do the financial stuff. So if anybody's motivated to join me, members will probably hear me vent in my musings while I'm fasting, but that's that. But yeah, some people are just like, no. So I totally get it. But I just had to kind of do like a check-in, like, okay, girl, like just make sure you are A-okay. And I think I am. I haven't got the shakes. I haven't had any like, symptoms or anything. I'm like, okay, so I'm all right. I have a healthy wine habit. Amen. Again, Hill is saying happy Monday, happy New Year, happy Monday, kid. Kenny Elliott is reminding y'all to hit that smash the like button, please, so that the algorithm can know this is some worthwhile content. And he says, tell everyone, yes, please hit subscribe, which we've had a little bit of a nice uptick of subscribers lately. My goal is to end the subscriptions. My year-end goal, so in the 2025, I wanted to hit 5,500, which was way over my annual goal. I was just wanting like 1,200 subscribers last year, and I kind of went past that. And then towards the end of the year, I was like, oh, I can have like a nice round number by December 31st. So we hit 5,500 subscribers, his lovely solo traveling community. Yeah, we are marching This year, my goal, it's a stretch goal, y'all, because I've never acquired this many subs, but we're gonna put in the work. My goal, I think, for not think, don't say think, Carlene. We're gonna lock in. My goal for this year is 8,000 subscribers. It's a smart goal with a stretch. So usually I have about 1,200. I think one year I had about 1,000 subs. So this is year 4 on the YouTube. I think I had 1,000 subs one year. I had about 1,200. One year I didn't hit 1,500 subs. So I think I'm gonna shoot for 8,000. Shoot for the moon and see how you land amongst stars, or you land amongst stars, something motivational like that. Yolo says Avatar. Yes, maybe it's an Avatar. Tia says that her picture was from her birthday. Cute. It's very, very cute. Hi, Danielle Golden, saying hello and happy new year. Happy new year. Thanks for being here. She says, yeah, I finally got my one-on-one with Carlene. We were all on our phones, like, because we were literally talking about, like, I tell y'all, like, Ghana was a trip that as soon as I saw that airplane, I was like, put me on it right now, Jesus. But we literally, it was just interesting to see. I went in like 2018 and Shantia went in like over the pandemic, 2020. And it was just amazing to see like all the same stops, but different iterations and different perspectives. It was cool. It was cool to go back down memory lane. And it made the layover fun. So thanks, Shantia, for indulging me. Gina's World is here. Hi, Gina's World. Gina's World's a member. Thanks for all the members for being present. Yellow, speaking to everybody. Big Murph is in the building, which I was cackling. Murph released a vlog related to his first flight. And I was like cackling Murph's whole thing about the vapors and the sounds. And I'm just happy, Murph, that you had a good team who was very patient with you. Because I only can imagine like doing my first flight as an adult. I was talking to one of my homegirls. Was that last night, me and B? One of my homegirls from college. We were on the phone last night for like an hour and a half, child, just chopping it up. And we were talking about our like new fears that you get as you get older. Like stuff, like for instance, you all saw the vlog that I released about going to Portugal. The Portugal vlog came out. You got to see some of my friends, some of my travel friends, some of my like actual like close friends in that vlog. And it started, we were talking about like during that trip, was something I didn't vlog, was like there was a moment that I felt like there was a stampede that was about to happen. And how like young me would have been completely oblivious to, being complete, like possibly being injured, this being a dangerous situation. I think I saw something over the this morning related to a flash fire that happened in a nightclub in Sweden over like New Year's Eve. It's just stuff that like, as a kid, you don't not kid, like a 21-year-old, 23-year-old, you don't really think about, the worst that can happen. Whereas you hit 40 and beyond and you're like highly aware of all the shenanigans that can happen, just in life in general. So she got to talking about flying and she was like, oh my gosh. Cause I remember like we went to Vegas one time and it was for some reason we all had like different flights, but everyone's flight over, because usually you're going to hit turbulence going over the Rockies, heading to Vegas, particularly if your flight is like mid-morning, afternoon hours when the clouds are starting to come up, it causes more turbulence. So that's why I was like, cool, like try to fly at night, those kind of things, early morning. Anywho, but I was like, B, you were the only one who was like, you love the turbulence on the flight. And she was like, girl, I have developed a fear now of like, she like almost hyperventilates on planes. And so I was just like, it's just interesting to go from like some of the things that you didn't even think about, in your younger days to like, she's just like, yeah, she's like, girl, I started thinking that like, she said, we parked the plane. She said, I heard them turn off the air. And she said, immediately my mind went to like, they're going to suck all the air off the plane. And I'm like, what? So anywho, long story short, Murph, your first flight video made me think about some of the conversation I had with my friend yesterday related to like just some of the new, as you get older, the phobias, fears, things, the paranoias that emerge. And you did good for your first flight for sure. Cause that landing gear still gets me. Because I'm like, what do you mean stuff is almost cuss? What do you mean stuff is like falling out the bottom of the plane? And we're going to land on these little 3, 4 tiny tires and this joint about to stop. But thank God for safe travels. Hello, Monet to the T, saying Happy New Year, Happy Monday, everyone. Happy New Year, Happy Monday. Parker's on the go in the building. Hello, Parkers. They are here from MSC Grandiosa. So thank you for blessing us with your presence while you are cruising. And I think if you're like a channel member and YouTube folks, Brandon has one of his infamous, what is it called, wing reviews coming out. So keep y'all eyeballs peeled for Parker on the go. Has some content coming straight from MSC Grandiosa, which is y'all are on the first sailing of Grandiosa out of the US, right? She's fresh from Europe. Yola D is in the building. Good evening. Hi, Yola D. Thanks for being here. Gina says, I couldn't miss the first Monday meetup. Gotta start the year right. Oh, wow. What a blessing. Gina says she's in Florida to celebrate her father's 90th birthday. Let's clap that up. That is a blessing to have 90 years on this earth and that you have family around you to celebrate. Because Sandra is laughing at me because I was like, I know she told you. It was bothering me because I was like, she told you her name. So isn't it like you need to remember it? I don't just go by like pronounce people's name wrong. Like, oh, oops, I didn't know. So that thing was eating me up because I'm like, she comes every week. You're gonna say this lady's name correctly, Carlene. God damn it, it is Cassandra. I saw in my head, my memory was saying, I saw a big SAN. Okay. Well, give me 4 more Mondays, Cassandra, to now reverse, because I was sitting there like, you're gonna say it right, still said it wrong. That is hilarious. On and Go Yellow says, I never got any downtime. Come on, February. Yes, come on, February. So Yellow can have some downtime. So it is pronounced Cassandra. We're gonna do better next week. Folks, speaking of Murph, Phil and D is in the building saying hello. What's up to chat? Phil and D are premiering after this at 8:30. And if y'all been following their channel, everybody's waiting to see what Dee's review of Virgin Voyages is. And I believe this is the second vlog in that series of Virgin that they're doing. So if you want to see a first time Virgin Voyages cruiser reaction, head over to Phil and D at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And check that out. Murph says, yeah, that was a great short you put out. See, very informative. I'm happy you found it informative. It was a lot of information to like try to cram into a short, because it's like you have with insurance and that topic, you have so many different scenarios. But I think the biggest thing of like whenever something has happened when you're traveling and it feels disastrous, of just kind of like pause for a minute, try to get your wits about you, try to calm your nerves first so that you don't make a knee-jerk reaction. And then you're doing double duty because you freaked out. So now you're repairing the bad situation that happened and you're repairing whatever you did through the freak out. Like case in point, I think was it Parker's? Y'all had somebody she was freaking out and fussing and cussing on the airport shuttle one time. I think I remember that story. And she accidentally tapped the wrong like day to reschedule her flight and then end up getting stuck on another like flight because she was rushing and fussing. Like, just sometimes take a moment, clear thoughts, clear head, and then act so that you don't have to like clean up the mess doubly. So glad somebody found that helpful. 6 says, I'm bad with traveling with little to no cash on hand. And same, I am very bad at that. I will say it's sometimes destination specific. But yeah, I have become more aware of like, I need to just have a little change in hand. Because, the cards aren't always, helpful. You don't ever know who you might need a tip, those kind of things. So I'm trying to be better with that, but there's plenty of times I'm like, oh, it's just, here's my card. I also want to be better. And I wish that cruise lines would offer a way to electronically tip your cabin stewards. But I'm sure if there was a way to do that, I'm sure if you electronically tip your cabin steward, they're going to figure out a way to like tax them on like tips or some kind of things. But I frequently find like I've tried to get to now where I tip my cabin store when I'm cruising, like halfway through the cruise, while I have the cash on me. The last few cruises I've had cash on me because I'm going to the casino. So particularly with my Royal Caribbean cruises. So I'll actually have cash on hand because I've been playing the casino. So that's been helpful. So I'll try to like tip them in the middle of the cruise so that I know it ain't that like, last night of the cruise is like, dang, I only got $3, and then you're stuck with a crazy situation of like, do I give them this $3 or do I look crazy? So, yeah, try to make it a point, just to put a couple little small bills on you. Even like certain countries, small bills are just helpful. Like, and it's helpful to prevent like scamming because people will try to act like I don't have any change. Like not countries. I don't want to make a broad sweep of things, but sometimes places will like purposely, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this costs $18. And who has $18 exactly in their pocket? So you end up just giving up the 20. Or, oh, this is $12, those kind of things. So, it's helpful to kind of like just have small bills on hand so that you don't have to pay, the tourist tax, what I like to call it. Wanna go with Yellow says when you're traveling, insurance and be liquid, meaning like I think that's cash on hand, right? Because most of the time you pay up front. Oh yeah, yes. So anything like if you go to the cruise ship infirmary, you're gonna have to pay that before you're reimbursed. If you are traveling and you injure yourself, out the country, you have to pay that before your insurance will reimburse you. If you need a hotel stay for the night, because flight delays, cancellations, those kind of things, you have to pay that up front before the reimbursement happens. So great point, Yolo. Thanks for saying that. Big Murph says not the same complaint about. Listen, Murph, here's how funny it is. So my church does this fast called Seek. It's the Seek Fast. If anybody local to DC area, I'm a member of Alfred Street Baptist Church. And it's like the second oldest, I think the oldest Black church that's still running. So the last few years we've been doing, a Seek Fast. And at first, and I know this we're travel chat, but I know a lot of you are believers. I used to have this deal with God that I was like, God, don't ever make me do a fast, because particularly like when I was used to be in a school system, I was like, Lord, please, like this will be an ugly situation for me and these kids if like you are calling me to fast during this time. So anyway, last year I was compelled to join the church fast for the first time. And I'm like, why when we have a church fast the first time, it's about to be the 90-day one. So it was funny when our pastor announced the church fast this year. He was like, it's 30 days. So yeah, keep us lifted. If y'all want information about that, if you're looking for a program to fast for, I'm more than happy to share. We have like a whole app and everything. Fancy Pants Church. My cruising family is in the building saying, hey, Carlene, welcome in. Speaking to the chat, saying Happy New Year to all. My cruising family is starting to slowly release their Disney Destiny, the Wakanda Forever ship. They're releasing their content related to that ship. I think they released a couple cabin tours. So if you're interested in seeing what the inside of Disney Destiny looks like, or Disney Destiny from a family perspective, a multi-generational family perspective, follow My Cruising Family, as I'm sure those vlogs, they're coming pretty soon, probably like a week or two. What did you miss? Nothing. We're just talking about content that I released, which so far I released what did I release this week? I released talking about travel insurance. I released a vlog on my Portugal trip, which was the first land-based vlog that I released in a long time. I think that was the first land-based I released since South Africa last year. So, and if you want a little peep into, because usually I travel solo, but Portugal for Afro Nation, which was a music festival. If you all want to see, my friend folk who tag along, which I learned is really hard to film with other people around me. Yeah, that vlog is out. And it's a very different style of vlog for me because I literally kind of did like a more of a raw. I didn't add any music to that one because I was with my friends. I have terrible transitions. So it's literally kind of like an old school kind of YouTube, like scene by scene by scene by scene kind of vlog. But you get some perspective about what Portugal, the Algarve region is like, and you get some perspective about like what it's like to attend Afro Nation, which is a huge music festival for Afro beats. Yes, the Saints like to drink. I like my wine. I also love Jesus, and me and him talk about it on a daily basis. But right now he told me you're doing this dry half January, so I'm being obedient. On the go else is not the shakes. Look, I had to make sure. I had to just check. Like I had to check and just be like, just take these few days, make sure you still have a healthy relationship and with the alcohol, like with the wine, like you're not dependent. And actually it's funny because what scared me, I didn't even think about it because like I had a older sorority sister who Soror Gwen, she said every night she has a glass of red wine, period. And she looks good for her age. I think she might be 70. I don't remember, but she's now, she hit her 50th. She's beyond her 50th, aka anniversary. Anyway, she looks good, but she has a glass of red wine every night. And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna be like Sora Gwen, I'm gonna have a red wine every night. And or two, sometimes three. But so yeah, I went to a wine tasting when I was on Margaritaville at Sea, which was gonna be eventually be in the vlogs. But I did a wine tasting on Margaritaville at Sea, and one of the staff members who was running the tasting, he runs a vineyard somewhere from his home country, which I found fascinating. So anyway, he was like, this lady to the left of me was saying, yeah, like, my family's Italian. They have a glass of wine like every night. And I was like, I told her like about my older sorority sister, like, yeah, I know a lady who has a glass of wine every night. And he was like, no, don't do that. My uncle had to have emergency surgery. And before they could work on him, they had like detox him because he started with the shakes. That has stuck in my mind, right? So I was just like, what if I'm dependent? So yeah, we're doing dry till January 20th. So keep me lifted in prayer. We're good though. I have my lovely smoothie here. And it tastes like sunshine. Hi, Warm Strong Adventures. Welcome in, Bill. Thanks for being here. I was enjoying your live stream while I was catching the metro home. Folks are speaking. Folks are saying congratulations. I don't know what congratulate. I missed something. Congratulations. Lisa T, hey girl. She says, oh, y'all start later. Ours started today. Happy New Year. Yeah, and I think too, like Pastor knows that like the Saints can't start on January 1st. I decided to start on January 1st. They're starting on the 11th. I decided to start on January 1st because I know I'm going until January 20th. And then I have a cruise where basically it's heavy on food. It'll be heavy on food and wine. So I was just like, we're going to the 20th. And then February, I'm gonna do my whole like a financial fast. But yeah, but cool. We'll be keeping you in my prayers and thoughts as y'all are embarking upon y'all's fast. Happy New Year. May it, be revealing to you. My Cruise and Fam says, girl, we're content creators, but unpopular opinion, we can give up social media for a bit. I agree. I gave up, not really gave up. What day was that? January 1st, I believe. I did not turn on my computer. I had my phone in my hand, but I can't. But yes, I do agree we can give ourselves a break. It frequently requires some planning on our end to give ourselves a break. I thankfully haven't felt like the need of like, oh my God, I'm so burnt out. Like YouTube happens to feel like a crackhead. Like I'm glad that like I haven't got to that. And I hope that if I ever feel like, oh my God, like my hair is falling out, I'm losing sleep, I will be able to back off. But the way I maintain, if anybody's interested in strategy, I literally This handy dandy calendar, like, which you'll see kind of written, you probably can't see it. Like, those are all the things I'm kind of like, this is what I can produce around like what my schedule is. So that kind of helps me keep with sanity in regards to production. And then that from there, I know like, okay, and then these are days I can book people. Like, I kind of block and chunk my time. Like, pretty much I know once I end this live stream, I have like a couple, like literally 2 or 3 things I need to do for clients. I need to send a quote. I need to send somebody a booking confirmation. And then I'm like, I'm done for the day. So set like little mini goals, and that kind of keeps you from, or at least that can't say keeps you. That kind of keeps me from feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm like always on this phone. But yeah, I know some folks are starting to do like no vlog cruises, which that felt great to do. I did that a no vlog cruise for like my Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady for Labor Day, because I was already on that ship and I had filmed it like 3 times. It felt good to kind of like, I could just put my camera down. I got some B-roll to do like a quick video when I got home, but that felt good. But definitely, yes. She says, not saying you should do that, just saying we can and do sometimes. Absolutely. Yes. If you ever, like, if it ever feels overwhelming, you're crazy about the number, like, definitely, you know, figure out a way to step back. And I think they said like a tip is when you feel like you need to step back, just inform your audience, like, hey, we're going to take a 2-week break. And, you know, try to stick to that and bounce back. And if you can't bounce back, just keep the people informed. They'll be there. They'll be there for you. My Christmas family says that smoothie ain't wine though. See, it ain't. It's purple. It's purple. It got some berries in it, but it is not. It is not. And I'm doing A-okay. I'm doing A-okay. But yeah, it tastes nothing like it. The first day I made this, today I had to put a little sativa. Oop, that's the wrong. What is it called? It's an S word for some sweetener. Stevia. Okay, I think that's called stevia, not sativa. Sativa is a whole nother topic that looks like that. I'm not talking about that. It's stevia. I had to add a little sweetener in there because the first day I was like, I put a little protein powder in there and I was like, this tastes like chalk and dirt. And so today we added a little sweetener in and it's tolerable. But I can't wait to tell y'all about like the cruise that I'm breaking my fast for. Whoo! Because I know the wines are about to wine. Can't wait. On the go, yo says you can do it in my Rob Schneider voice. I don't know who Rob Schneider is. Thank you. My Christmas says your Portugal vlog is queued up. Gotta watch. Yep. The whole kind of context was like Afro Nation for older people, because usually like music festival. Now I do think my music festival days are kind of like starting to come to a end. Because I want a seat. I want convenience. I want to, you know, be at the venue and not have to like hike. Those kind of things. I'm more like in my Jazz Fest era, I think. Well, the music was top tier. The piano artists were great. It was just kind of like, this is a great activity for a 28-year-old. And they had like VIP sections, etc. But the VIP sections were so far away from the artist. So while it was like convenient for standing, sitting, toilets, it wasn't good for like the musical experience, because where they had them, you couldn't just yeah. Anywho, Portugal vlog is out. I think next is coming Denmark soon. My Christmas family says, as a child, I used to love Turbulence. Like, see, isn't and see, I remember my first flight. I believe I was 6. Tell me in your chat, how old were you when you took your first flight? Because Murph asked that question in his vlog. He was like, how old were you when you took your first flight? And I was like, I think I was 6. I was 6 and I was going to Disney World. So going to Orlando. So it's like 2.5 hours from the DC area. And I remember looking over to my mom, which my mom bold-faced lied to me. I guess in her defense, rightfully so, because like, listen to the question. I was like, Mom, if the plane breaks, will the clouds catch us? And she was like, yeah. She was like, listen, I'm going to deal with this when we get on the ground. But for right now, yes, these clouds will catch us. Meanwhile, I know my mom is not a good flyer. I'm also not a great flyer. I know I have to fly because I have to get from point A to point B. I actually do better on longer haul flights than I do to like a quick trip down to Florida. I think when we get long haul flights, it's kind of like you're up there, like you're just there. But like them shorter flights, I am panicky. And particularly more so, it used to just be with was it used to just be takeoff, and now I'm panicky with takeoff and landing. And then like don't let us hit turbulence. We hit turbulence, like my nerves are shot for the rest of the flight. So yeah, I'm the person that usually they say fly early hours. So catch the first thing smoking is usually you won't run into your storms. Usually by the midday, clouds are kind of creating the clouds are like what is it? Weather usually is developing with the humidity, etc. So that kind of creates more bumps in the air. So, but yeah, but I fly because I gotta get places. But it's not my what is it? My favorite mode of I'm not calm by any means, let's say. Murph says, yes, I was fully aware of every noise, bump, smoke. I just knew that plane was on its way down, but I'm still here to tell a story. Amen. Yeah, they actually have I watched this pilot on YouTube. He does a whole thing where he breaks down and I actually watched it, I think not recently, probably the last couple years. He breaks down all the plane sounds for newbies and beginners, and basically kind of just let you put at ease of like, expect to hear this, and this is why this. Like one of the things I really hate is like pretty soon after takeoff, at some point there's a feeling of like weightlessness, almost as like either they're adjusting speed or the engine's dialed down or something. I hate that feeling so much. But when he explained it to me, I was like, oh, okay. And now I expect it and I get over it. So there are a couple pilots on YouTube that if you're a nervous flyer, they really break down things like turbulence. They break down the plane sounds, like, okay, the landing gear is going to drop. That little, that's the hydraulics. Like they kind of, tell you all the normal sounds that you'll hear in a regular flight. So they're kind of supposed to help ease your nerves. Mickey's eventually saying Happy New Year. She's saying, I love that too. Hearing the landing gear pop out. Now I hate sometimes the feeling still throws me off, but the landing gear popping out, you like we're about 10 minutes from setting this thing down. So let's go. Like we made it out of the sky, hopefully. And our destination, we're here for our destination. Folks are saying congratulations to Gina celebrating 90th birthday for her dad. It's amazing. Parks on the Go says Grandiosa has been selling the US since December 6th, but it's all turning around. Oh, so it's not gonna be here long. I want to get on the MSC Divina, I think. Yeah, that's the only ship that I think of the MSC fleet that I really want to get on, try out. Because like Seashore and Seascape all look alike. I think, yeah. And then Seaside is around, but I heard, those look like Seashore and Seascape. So I don't think I want to do I'm not like in a hurry to get on Seaside, I don't think. But I think like I've done Meraviglia. So I think I want to do like Divina, and I'll kind of feel like I had my feel for MSC cruises for the moment. Mark Hackett is in the building. Said, what up, C? What up, Matt? Mark? Happy Monday. Let's see. Folks are speaking. Yellow D's talking about like what she carries to be safe when traveling. She says she always has cash or always have cash. I don't want to use my card. True, fair, yeah. You never know. And then when you have a card, like make sure I like my travel card to be a Visa, preferably Visa. MasterCard is kind of accepted pretty widely, but definitely Visa is accepted everywhere. Do not let Amex be your backup card. A lot of places don't take Amex because of their fees. So make sure you have a Visa with a lot of spare change on it when you go. And definitely some cash. Yellow says we leave the tip cash in the safe and off to the side so we don't spend it. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, you leave it for the room steward? I'm like, the next person gonna find it. Gotcha. Fair. Yeah. So you peel off how much you're gonna give to your room attendant so that you have enough. Makes total sense. I think like the last time I took that approach a couple of times, but then the last couple like cruises, for some reason, like I think one time I caught a cab and I thought, okay, the cab is going to be this amount, and it ended up being like more than anticipated, so kind of dipped into my funds. But yeah, try to keep you some cash. Don't spend the tip money that you want to give to your cabin steward. On Anna Q in the building saying, hey, hey, hey. 2 Mondays in a row. She is on a roll. Thanks for being here, Anna Q. Much appreciated. Thanks for popping through. We are talking about kind of recapping some of the vlogs that I released, which were one was about kind of travel insurance, and then I was talking about my land-based ventures through Portugal, which what else about Portugal? I will say to get there, talking about smooth flights, planes, etc. I took Scandinavian Airlines, and that was my first time flying Scandinavian Airlines. When I say them pilots know how to fly a plane, when I say like every landing, they buttered it. Like you almost ain't even feel the wheels hit the runway. Quality pilots on Scandinavian. Really nice aircraft, clean. So I recommend Scandinavian Airlines if you all have to take a flight to Europe, and that's one of your options. I really enjoyed my flight with them. So basically, that's how I flew them to go to Portugal, because I didn't go straight into Lisbon. I flew into Faro, so I flew closer to the concert venue, which was a little more to get to the venue, but it made sense because I was only gonna be there for like 4 days, and I didn't want to like spend half the time catching a train, trying to get a ride. So Anna Q says, I've done a 21-day water fast and lost 40 pounds. Whoa, bless your heart. I think I would be crazy. How did that make you feel? Because somebody I know went to high school together, I think. But on Thread, she posted that she did like a 28-hour water fast, and she was feeling she completed it this morning, I believe, and she said she was feeling dizzy and cold. So what were the side effects of a 21-day water fast? Folks are saying hello to Anna Q. My cruising family is shouting out that Disney Destiny. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I told y'all my goal is to get on Disney Destiny, walk in front of the Black Panther statue and cry. That's all I want to do. Want to go yellow? It says Peter. Funny, that's up next in my Marvel timeline rewatch. I do it twice a year. Oh, must be talking. Are you talking about? I missed something. Let's see. Oh, y'all are talking about watch Black Panther, watch Wakanda Forever, and then go on Disney Destiny. Awesome. I am lost. Oh, okay. Y'all talking about my wine. I was like, what are they? I'm like, I keep seeing numbers. Sometimes 3. Anna Q says it depends on the type of wine. Yes. And I know y'all are tired of me talking about my favorite place in the world. However, I don't know how they produce wine in South Africa. I know they do it with less sulfites. You can drink, I feel like, bottles there and don't get a hangover. I don't know how they produce it or what, but yes, if you get the right type of wine, good quality wine, keep your water intake going, you don't feel anything. Yola says she's asking for a friend. And I think, no, oh yeah, going back to the advent calendar though, it made me really mad that the one South African wine was terrible actually. And it was a Sauvignon Blanc from there, which is usually their better ones, but yeah. And channel members, I actually have like 2 advent calendar shorts that I never posted because I'll end up traveling. So I think I have like days numbered 21 and 22 maybe in my phone. So if channel members, y'all want to see it, I can release it to you. Big Merv says my aunt was trying to get me to do the no spin fast for January, but I told her I got to pay off these cruises I booked. The Lord knows my heart. Yes. And I believe my financial fast forward February or whenever I get back. So before I leave for this trip, I'm gonna do no wine. When I come back, my plan is to only use like my debit card. So no using credit cards for I think I'm gonna go until my church ends its fast, or maybe February. I don't know. I'm praying on it and think about it. But definitely to like from whenever time I get back to when my church ends, my focus is gonna be the financial aspect and no using the credit cards. Drew says, hi, C. How successful was the wine Christmas shorts? I got all the way to day number 20. And then I ended up traveling. I did a back-to-back on I did Radiance of the Seas, and then I did Jewel of the Seas from December like 15th to the 22nd. So that got me off track from the wine advent calendar. I filmed a couple more. Like I have 2 more in my phone that I never edited. But yeah, so my goal, I'm gonna run it back. I don't think I'm gonna do the total wine one next year. I think it was another advent calendar that started popping up in my feed. So I think I'm gonna do another brand next time, but I definitely want to run back the wine advent calendar. He says that was a good idea to do that and get great content views. Hope this year you do different Christmas cookies. Oh, I don't think I'm a big Christmas cookie person. That's a good idea. But no, I think I would do it again this year. I would just think I would do a different company, because one thing that was making me mad about Total Wine's advent calendar, which I think is an excellent gift, $79.99 if you want to give it to a wine lover. I totally think it's a really cute gift. They become available in the Total Wine stores around like September-ish, October. I think I started seeing them. I think October, because I think the first time I saw it was when I was preparing for homecoming. And I was like, oh, that's cute. So probably late October they become available. But I do know mine sold out like right at the Thanksgiving week. So you got to get it before then. Folks saying low ABV reds will allow you to chug a little more. Drink responsibly. Let's see. What is 23? See, now I'm behind. 2343. Oh, okay. I got it. Now, see, now, Carlene, you gotta remember what you're running your mouth about. I asked folks what was their first time catching a flight. So YOLO says her flight was at 23. Oh, you came out swinging. They lost her luggage going to Vegas because they had to switch planes at the last minute. Dang. And I do feel like at least like I feel like they're a little better with the luggage management situation. And then now you have things like AirTags where you can kind of help manage it yourself. But yeah. Murph says not Mama Lime. My mom did not want that 6-year-old smoke because we were up in the air. And I think like we kind of hit turbulence, but I wasn't scared. But you know, it kind of like caught my 6-year-old time and mine. I know she had me at the window seat. So I was looking out the window. And shout out to like flying back then. I know I felt like I'm saying like back in my day, but like only thing I had was like a little like puzzle and like a coloring book to like keep me busy for like 2.5 hours. And like even when I fly with my mom now, when we hit turbulence, like she don't want to talk to nobody. So here comes 6-year-old me, like she's trying to go through a turbulent moment and not talk to anybody. And I'm like, what happens if the plane crashes? Like, will the clouds catch us? And she was just like, listen, we still got like an hour and a half of this flight. And she just told me, yeah. I guess she figured like, if I can lie about Santa Claus, I might as well lie to her about these clouds so we can get to Disney World in peace. Murph says his first flight was at 43. And AQ says the shorter flights use those regional jets and you can feel everything. OMG. Let me tell y'all about the time that like, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. However, sometimes you just be like, oh, Jesus, like this could be a moment. So When I did my Carnival Sunshine cruise out of Charleston, make sure I'm not going too long today. When I did my Carnival Sunshine cruise out of Charleston, coming back, it was exciting because like I was on American Airlines. I got the little notification like, okay, you've been upgraded. I got a complimentary upgrade. I'm like, cool, on one of them little regional jets. And I think it was like a 45-minute flight from Charleston to DC or something like that. Can't remember. Or maybe it's like an hour, whatever it was, hour 15. So we get on the plane, and as soon as we sit down, the captain is like, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like he ain't say it like that, but he was very direct. I ain't gonna hold you. We're expecting a very turbulent flight this evening. There won't be a drink service. And flight attendants will be seated the whole flight. Which when they get on and say that, like, expect a turbulent flight. So I'm sitting there. I look to the left of me, and is his name Tim Scott? Which at the time the Republican Party was going through, I'm not going to get super political, but at the time the Republican Party was trying to figure out who their vice presidential nominee was going to be. I look over and I'm like, Lord, this could be a good episode of Scandal right now. I prayed so hard because I was like, I'm looking who I'm sitting next to, and the captain like immediately get on the plane, and he's like, "This ain't gonna be no joke flight," and I'm just like, I'm here to still tell a story. We made it, but Lord, I think I texted my friends. I was like, hey, the captain made an announcement. It's supposed to be a pretty bad flight. And like Tim Scott is still after me. Like, I just want to let y'all know, should like anything. Like, it was just one of those moments. I was just like, I just felt like I had to tell, because I told y'all sometimes I like to move and I don't be telling my people like where I be going. But I literally was like, this feels like an episode of Scandal. Let me let some people know. All right. But yeah, you can feel everything on those regional jets. Yolo says, oh wait, she was 12. She went to Cleveland to see her granddad. My cruising family says Davina was their first MSC ship. Yeah, Davina is on my radar. And I was sitting at work thinking today, I was like, I probably need to get back on MSC because I believe if you don't sell MSC, was it once in 2 years or something like that? Do you lose points or do you lose your status? So I need to figure out a way to schedule MSC into the mix if that's true. But I feel like I saw something that like if you don't sell MSC in a while, you roll back. On the go yellow says landing gear is the light at the end of the tunnel, especially on international cross country flights. Ready to get off. True. But also remember what my home airport is and that whole situation. So literally, I'm now like, when I touch ground and get to the gate, because you just been seeing so many interesting things happen between like planes connecting, somebody done tap somebody's wing, somebody going down the wrong runway. There was a car on the runway. Did anybody see that? One of the Orlando airports, maybe Sanford. I can't remember. There was a car on like a runway recently. Child, like I am, until I walk off that plane, I'm like, anything goes. But it does feel good, like when they finally make that announcement of like, flight attendants prepare for landing. Yellow says Visa is the boss card to have. When a Visa card is the card to have when you're in Europe. True that. And because Visa typically has like the chip technology, which Europe was really big on. And then slowly we, got to their standards over here in the US. Ken Hill says, I was supposed to be on Davina on March 11th night going to Aruba for my birthday. But is that the cruise you gave up so you can come on one of our cruises, Ken? Cheese. We'll make sure it's worth your while, particularly if you had to give up a cruise to come cruise with us. What else? Big Murph says, I couldn't imagine flying internationally. Nobody told me how quiet it is on planes. I was about to go crazy. I said, I need somebody to make some noise or something. Look, now listen, careful what you ask for. Because when you get that flight that you got somebody, like, I don't even mind the babies anymore because they're babies. But when you got the grown folks that are just either engaged in shenanigans, doing shenanigans, like, my cruising family says a good long haul airline has lots of movies and shows to watch. Yes. and bring your headphones, but they'll provide some for you too. Yeah, Murphy said, I was wondering how you stay entertained. Yes, I stay entertained with the free wine and the movies that are on board. And because I'm not like a big movie buff at home, like I can't sit and watch a movie. Like I rented Wicked for Good on what day was that? Thursday. I still have not seen the last 30 minutes of that, and my rental expired because I literally got in bed, turned it on, 14 minutes, I fell asleep. Then I had to restart it, watch a good chunk of it, then ended up, yeah. So one of these flights, probably in like Marchish, whenever Wicked for Good comes out, I'll be able to catch it because that's the only time I can like sit and watch a movie. Otherwise, like I'll sit, then I'll start scrolling my phone, or I'll find something else in the house to do. So, Anna Q says, yes, Murph, most of your international flights are overseas are late at night and people are asleep. Absolutely. So, yep, it's usually after work, 10 o'clock. They get that plane up in the air, they do that dinner service, and it's lights out. And you get you a good airline. Sometimes they have the automatic dimming shades where they can hit a button and the windows go black, even if people have their shade up. That's a good plane. Let's see. Anna Q says, I'm an experienced faster. Okay, so it wasn't that bad, but around day 16 it started getting tough. Ooh, bless your heart. 21-day water fast. Sheesh. Anna Q says her favorite wine is a tie between Greece and Spain. Now, in that dang on advent calendar box, the Spanish wines had some good, nice heavy hitters. Yellow says, I need to do better with wines. Just keep drinking. You drink on, you're like, okay, cool, I like this one. You drink it, like, no, I don't like that one. Yellow says, we had several wineries in the area. I might do a class or two in Western New York. Yeah, a lot of things I learned were just basically doing tastings. And then like tastings are so funny because that's when they start hitting you with things like hints of grass and leather. So now I'll be in the wine tasting just shouting out anything. Like, I taste dirt. And they be like, yes. Poverty in Paradise says, hey, Carly. Hey. And hello to chat. Welcome in. Thank you for being here, Linnell. Good to see you. Let's see. My Christian family says, yep, see, flying back, then the entertainment, then the flight was the entertainment. Oh, flying back, then the flight was entertainment. Yeah. And you had to dress up. Mickey says, my first flight was at 6 months old and been flying since and still can't stand turbulence and still anxious when I have to fly. Absolutely. My cruising family says Peter's first flight was at 4. Folks are speaking. Anna Q's first flight was at 10. Yola said Dylan's been flying since 6 months. Or when she was, and then that's a whole nother dynamic. You have your first time flying, and then you have your first time flying with a baby, which I don't have children, but I heard like it's a top tier level of planning. My last flight, heading down to Fort Lauderdale, there was a baby next to me, and this mom was like, sis had it down pat. She had 2 seats, which I got lucky because then the middle seat was empty because the baby wanted to be, he wasn't a baby. He was like 3 or 4, maybe 3. He wasn't quite 4 yet. Maybe 2 or 3. Anyway, he ended up being on her lap the whole time, sitting in the window seat, and then he finally conked out. But so it just felt like we had an empty seat. But she had his puzzle. She had everything. Anna Q says, I'm always seeing the political cats at Dulles and Reagan. Yep. They move through. They are moving through. I remember, and then only one time Baltimore, the Speaker of the House at the time, this is like a while ago, was on my plane. I didn't know who it was. And it was so funny how like people can be so what was his name? Boehner? Blue eyes, really pretty blue eyes. John Boehner was on my flight, I believe, heading to Ohio one time when not JetBlue, when AirTran was still open. And it was funny because like America, we don't be knowing about who the political characters are. So literally somebody was like, because they not held us, but when we landed, everybody had to be seated. They took him off the plane first, and they had a car waiting on the tarmac for him. But it was funny because somebody was like, I think because I was eventually, usually I don't care, but I was like, well, who is he? You know, and like people were whispering. So I was like, I think he's a owner of a baseball team. And then I finally sat there and like Google who he was. I'm like, he's the Speaker of the House. Anyway, Murph says, what? See, now my fear of flying has returned. Thanks. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. No, don't be fearful. Sorry. I'll tell you what one of my aviation friends said. So Hampton had an aviation program, and one of my friends said basically the what is it called? The most dangerous times of flying are your first 10 minutes. So basically when you take off and any time until they make that first boom, it's pretty much that's because there's a lot of pilot control, human opportunities for human error and, stress on the plane. And when they say final descent, when you're landing. So your first 10 minutes and your last 10, 20 minutes, that's the time. Once you hear those bings and bongs, it's pretty much it's over, or your chances of stuff kind of reduced. That's what one of my aviation majors. Now, when I thought that was going to help me when he told me that, but it actually increased my anxiety. So I am a nervous wreck until I hear that like bing. But like they say, there's nothing you can do about it. But anywho, change topics. Liam says, I download stuff on my phone or tablet from YouTube and streaming platforms for his flights. I usually like, and that's why I'm particular about who I fly, because I prefer planes that have the seat back entertainment. So like the thing built into the headrest. So like it would be Delta here. But usually because I'm going to Fort Lauderdale or Orlando, I'm on American. So the planes that leave them for Fort Lauderdale here for American, they don't have seat back entertainment, but they have the free Wi-Fi. And then not free Wi-Fi, the free entertainment that you can stream on your phone. And then with T-Mobile on American, you get so many credits of like free Wi-Fi, either an hour, or you can get a free full flight through your T-Mobile plan when you fly American. But if my preference is like, I like when they have the entertainments on the seat and I don't have to use my phone, because I rather have a fully charged device when I land. And I like the bigger screen versus like holding it in my hand or propping it up. But that would require me to get on Delta, and then that's like gobs of money just for a 2-hour flight. So but yeah, you can definitely download stuff on your phone, etc. Only time I usually do that though is like if I'm on a budget carrier. So for instance, when I flew to Amsterdam, we were on Play Airlines, and literally Play Airlines is like you sit down, like that's it. They don't have nothing else. And so yeah, I put some stuff on my phone for that. And then that was actually the last trip where I had to my 6-year-old Carlene kicked in, because literally it was like my phone died or something happened. I finished reading all of my book and I still had about 2 hours of the flight left, where I literally sat. Like when is the last time you sat? I think I like ended up like writing a letter or something that I had to do for, I think at the time I was like doing state board stuff, but like, oh my gosh. And even then I think I finished that document and I was just like, I gotta sit here for 45 minutes and like twiddle my thumbs. So always bring backup entertainment. And you also know, I mean, it's also good, to your point too, Liam, like having stuff downloaded and prepared on your phone, because you never know. Now I have had this happen when that dang on entertainment system don't want to work. And sometimes it don't want to work at your seat. And then sometimes, it could glitch and not work for the whole plane. And only thing the flight attendant is going to give you is a sorry, and you're stuck sitting there. So I like to bring backup methods. I usually have a book. I need to probably download something. I haven't downloaded anything in a long time to keep on my phones, because I'm usually keeping storage for filming, but that's a good idea. Lisa T says, oh no, when they start doing too much on flights, I be wanting to get them off expeditiously. Sorry, I need peace of my flights. Hold the foolishness. Yes, not too much on the foolishness. Lisa's talking about my wine tasting thoughts. And folks are talking about kids on planes. So yeah, I'm looking. I don't want to hold out too long. Cool. And I will say, Liam says some of the planes have plugs for like devices for Play Airlines. Yes. Well, cool. So let's get into our usual announcements really quickly. We have, where's my slides? Slides, please. So, as you all know, we have a few group opportunities to travel with me, which are pretty exciting. So usually I'm gonna try to do 2 opportunities a year, not too much to not to inundate you, not inundate myself. But we're probably gonna start wrapping Celebrity Reflection is the ultimate solo group cruise, still available. Might want to jump on this one before flights start ticking, or in flights. Well, flights too, because it's time to start looking for your flights if you're on that group cruise. But before the cruise starts ticking back up, I think it went all the way down like 8:32, and now it's starting to tick up to like 9:41. So if you're thinking about Ultimate Solo Group Cruise on Celebrity Reflection, June 22nd to 26th, 2026, with your favorite solo travelers, the Jen Daniel Experience and Sig the Solo Cruiser and myself, reach out to one of us and join us on that trip. Then you all seen the details. Some of you have seen the itinerary. I've gotten the feedback for the itinerary. It seems like you like it. We have the Good Government Getaway where we will be eating and drinking around the world at Epcot Food and Wine Festival this year, October 9th through the 11th. I can't believe it's 2026 already. So there is a $30 non-refundable registration fee, but that goes towards trip planning. So, and thank you all for submitting those funds. I have moved them to my like business savings account. So your funds are in a safe place. And should something happen to me between now and October 9th, in the sense of like, tell my mama, like Carlene got $30 in her PayPal business account for you. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why that was kind of morbid, but anyway, October 9th to the 11th, Epcot Food and Wine Festival. You have received the itinerary if you pay the registration fee. We are eating, drinking around the world. Channel members get a complimentary registration as a thank you for being channel members. And let's hang out. I'm so excited about like, I don't know, I think this is gonna be a good kind of time. We talked a lot about like wine, food, countries, so it's gonna be funny to kind of like do this with you all. It'll be some activities, games, competitions. So that is available to you. So those are the only 2 trips I'm doing for 2026. Then, because it's time to start planning for 2027, the first trip of 2027 will be the Ultimate Land and Sea, which will be leaving out of New Orleans. So we'll be doing a meetup in New Orleans, Louisiana, May 14th and 15th. And then we'll be hopping on Carnival Dream for a 4-day cruise to Cozumel and back. I think I like that itinerary because it's Sea Day, Cozumel, Sea Day. On Carnival Dream, which will be fresh out of dry dock and new to New Orleans. So that should be a good time. And it's these 6 lovely ladies you can book with any of us. So looking forward to see you there. Then October, I slid one in on y'all because I'm only going to try to do no more than 2 trips a year. But I saw this itinerary. It's over my birthday. So I created a sail with me, which is on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, June 10th to the 20th, 2027. And it's basically the Greek Isles, plus it'll have Turkey and Cairo, which is a bomb itinerary. It's 10 days. You can use the Juneteenth holiday to maximize your PTO. We're hitting up Mykonos, Rhodes, Ephesus, Turkey, Santorini, overnight stay in Cairo, a couple sea days in there out of Greece. I think I hit all the stops for that one. And so you can book it through me. We started kind of planning. I started giving people travel tips. I kind of also made it because I got a couple questions about like, what does a sail with me mean? Which I appreciate the questions. Because it's a 10-day itinerary, I didn't want to do like a full group cruise because these are like bucket list stops. So Cairo, like I don't take it for granted that everybody wants to see the pyramids. I know Bill from Warm Strong Adventure says he's going to come. For instance, I'll use an example like Turkey. Bill wants to see the House of Virgin Mary and do the holy sites. I know for me, I want to go and hopefully get to a hammam that day. So I wanted to make it like not as rigid as a group cruise, but of course, like we can link our reservations for dining. We can plan some of the port things. So we so far have we have 3 bookings for that one. But I'm like, this is a bomb itinerary. It is over my birthday. I was gonna just go by myself, but I was kind of like, this is kind of an epic itinerary. There are people who might want to try out Greece. I know for me, Egypt is a place that like I think a cruise would be great because I don't want to spend a lot of time there. I just kind of want to see the pyramids. So I was like, let me open up to other people who might want to experience that side of the world, but maybe scared of going solo. So you will have somebody who I've been to Greece, is it twice now? And we'll all be experiencing Cairo together. But I have great recommendations in that sense because I love how Virgin Voyages does its excursion program. They are very cognizant of making sure that their excursion vendors are top tier, that they give back to local communities, those kind of things. So get that one booked. Let me know if you want me to help plan it, want me to help you plan it or book it. Or if you plan on coming, let me know so that we can kind of start coordinating together. And when I get off this call, I owe one of you your booking confirmation. So I'm going to email that to you if you're listening in once I hang up. Excuse me. And if you book through me, excuse me, because Virgin has been losing his mind this weekend. Please let me know because for some reason, a few of my Virgin bookings, or at least one, did not kind of get attributed to me. So I want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone unintentionally and you're thinking I'm ignoring you. No, I don't have your booking attached to me. So I want to just double check that. Then we have an actual hosted group cruise, which is the last one of 2027, which will be Norwegian Luna, which I believe is still $50 deposits for solo travelers. For Good Gov Getaway 2027. I think I have about how many? Where's my list? I think I have like 7 cabins still on hold. I think I have like 3 balconies and maybe 4 interiors still on hold for that one. And then solos, a lot of people are going to basically be in the solo, what's it called? The solo studio. So hit me up if you're interested in that one. This one will be because Norwegian's lovely More at Sea program. We're going to be heavy in the food and wine and enjoying this lovely cruise ship. We're heading to Bermuda, but Norwegian Luna will be fresh out that year. So we'd love for you to join us. And that will be it for 2027. I'm not going to sneak no more trips in there. Locking my eyes in on future things. Thinking about 2028 already, kind of troubleshooting in my head. But these are your opportunities for the year. If you are trying to go on something and you want to make sure that there's somebody with you, hit me up. All right, let's go through these last couple of comments. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Marcus James says a great first Monday meetup. Thank you. Next week we'll be back here on the 12th, and it should be a live stream again. I believe we're gonna do a live stream unless I decide to. I'm supposed to edit Denmark, so unless I decide I want to make Denmark a premiere. But tune in Monday at 7 p.m. There'll be some content. Hope you can join us, either the premiere in the chat or come chat like you did this evening. And excuses, I promise you, I'm gonna book with you one of these days. No worry, I know it's a lot. It's a lot of great trips to choose from for sure, and like that's just like what other people have out there. Like I was watching a replay of like Lynette and Staley's, and I was like, dang, they had that Aruba trip and they have the June trip that they have, and I was just like, I want to go, but like I just have too much other stuff. So I'm like, if I'm feeling like that, I know you all feeling that way too. On top of just the other stuff outside of like the YouTube community, the stuff that you just want to do on your own. So no pressure, no worries. Totally understand. My Christmas family says this VV itinerary is amazing. Ain't it amazing? Like it's super duper amazing. And it's literally, let me see. I know I'm like holding y'all, but I want to just go through the itinerary really quickly. It's June 10th, 2027. It's out of Athens. So if you haven't been to Athens, that's your opportunity. to visit. I think you can. I was talking to somebody this weekend, and I was like, if you've never been to Athens, you probably want to give yourself 2 days before to get there. Not 2 days before to get there, but like you want to give yourself a couple of days so that you can spend one day walking around, enjoying, looking at the sights, etc. If you've already been to Athens, figure out, get it how you live it. But if this is your first time going to Athens, I definitely say like maybe a couple of days ahead of time so that you can explore. I was able to do all the sites the major sites in Athens in a day. I just missed the Acropolis. So whenever I go back, I just want to go to the Acropolis and I'll be done. And that was literally me like taking breaks, eating, dragging my feet. So if you hit the pavement, you can see everything plus the Acropolis in one day. And I was sharing my lovely Rick Steves guide. This guy literally had the walking tour in it, and I just followed this. Okay, so first day you go to Santorini. We're there from 8 to 6. The next day is Kusadasi, Turkey, which is 8 to 6 p.m. So you got Santorini, Greece. Then you hit up Turkey. Then you're at sea, so you get a little break, nice little sea day. Then on the 14th, you're in Cairo overnight. So we'll be in Cairo for my birthday. So it'll be interesting. We'll get the pyramids of the day, and I got to figure out something to do that evening. It'll also be interesting to see like what Cairo's cruise port is like. Like, will it be industrial? Like, can we come and go? That kind of thing. But we get to Cairo at 7 o'clock on June 14th, and we don't leave Cairo until 8 o'clock p.m. June 15th. So that's a full couple of days there. The 16th, you can recover from Cairo at sea. The 17th, we're at Rhodes, which has beach club vibes. The 18th, we're at my good girlfriend Mykonos, heavy on the beach club vibes, and we're in Mykonos from 8 to 10. You can recover from Mykonos with a day at sea, and then you're back at Athens on the 20th. So that's a dope itinerary. Oh, my cruise event, since the kids were out of school, I could have done this. See, sorry. Let's see. Folks are talking about what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Anaccusa's Virgin starting to do a lot. I'm starting to think they're sliding the travel agents on purpose. Now, listen. I need to wrap this up before Philandigo premiere, but I have a whole lot because I literally was on the phone with Virgin from Saturday afternoon for 2 hours. Sunday, I was on the phone with Virgin I did not hang up with them until the sun went down for something simple because they misspelled my email. And then the whole tiers thing, it's a lot going on with them. I want them to settle in. I get it's all the newness. They keep kind of shuffling and making changes. And I appreciate the adaptations, but it's like, okay, girl, it's year 5 now. You got to settle in, like settle into your lane. But I appreciate it's a bomb itinerary. But from the travel agent perspective, Virgin has been working my nerve a tad bit. But I like the itineraries. They have the corner of the market for adults only, so they can cut up a little bit. All right. Thank y'all for being so verbose and chatty. I won't be able to get through all the comments. Yeah, I'm sad because they are my favorite, but my loyalty is thin, particularly with some of the things. But let's see. Is there a high note that I could end this on? Probably not. I will go back to Peter's comment. The Virgin Voyage itinerary is amazing. It's C with C. Thanks for chatting with me. Stay tuned for more content. I'm going to try to get out a Denmark vlog at some point today. I think I have a couple room tours. Make sure you all tune in to Phil and D's Travel Spirit 8:30 Eastern time. They are premiering, speaking of the good girlfriend, Virgin Voyages. So if you want to see the perspective of a first timer on Virgin Voyages, hop over to their channel. It's C with C. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video on Monday, the 12th. Good night.